What is going on, guys? GregglesTV. I have two of the very best phones on the market today, the Galaxy Note 8 and the Google Pixel 2 XL. Now, I already did a video on these comparing them a little bit side by side. Now I wanted to do this in a comfort kind of way, in design, just because they're two premium phones and they do look kind of completely different, especially when you look on the back of these two devices. And but overall, they have very similar specs, except for a few things differently. Well, first off, let's talk about the Note 8. The Note 8 feels fantastic in your hand. It's really, really thin, but it's really tall at the same time. And it's also probably, not giving any spoilers here, it's probably the very best looking device on the market today. It's really, really nice. All glass back, all glass front. It looks great. The screen's great. It's just a really nice phone overall compared, just the design and the comfort in your hand. The one thing I don't like about it comfort-wise is the how tall it is. It's really, I don't have long fingers, and it's quite difficult to make this a one-handed device. And if I have to do two things, like what I'm doing now, recording a video and just navigating the phone, it's kind of difficult to do so, unfortunately. So that would probably be the one thing about this phone, is that it's just so freaking tall. It's really, really tall. But like I said, it feels really good in your hand. Even if it's in a case, it still feels really comfortable in your hand. That leads us up to one of my favorite phones of this year, obviously already, and that is the Pixel 2 XL. It's kind of been one of those phones that has been getting some negative press for the screen and some other weird things like high-pitched noises coming from it, which I haven't had any of these issues so far. I mean, the screen's not the best, but it's also not the worst by far. But in your hand, it feels good. Definitely not as thin as what you get with the Galaxy Note 8, but at the same time, it feels good in your hand. It is shorter, so it's kind of the opposite. This one doesn't feel as comfortable in your hand, going side to side as the Galaxy Note 8 does, but it's a little bit easier to reach, on the top here. It's still quite difficult because it's still a big phone, but it's not as tall as a Galaxy Note 8, which is nice. So if it depends how you want to hold the phone, if you don't mind it being a little bit thicker but easier to reach from the top to the bottom, then the Pixel 2 XL is your phone definitely for that. But if you don't mind it being so tall and you want a thinner experience, then the Galaxy Note 8 is best for you. As for fingerprint placement, definitely the Pixel 2 XL is the winner there. You can see it's directly in the correct location. If it's going to be in the back, it should really be right there. It's really comfortable. Right where you naturally hold your hand, that's where the fingerprint sensor is. And they both have smart fingerprint sensors, meaning you can do gestures on there, like swipe down from the top and your notifications come down. So it does all that kind of cool stuff, and it's easy to reach. So I love that. Love, love, love that. Whereas on the Galaxy Note 8, it's all the way up here, so you really have to reach up. It's not as comfortable. It's still pretty accessible to reach, but it's just not as comfortable overall. Next up, you want to probably talk about the speakers. Now, the speakers are definitely in a better location on the Pixel 2 XL. They're on the top here and also at the bottom. So when you get that sound and you're holding your phone like this, it's not going to block the sound of whatever you're listening to, music or playing a game or whatever it may be. So that definitely in a better location than on the Galaxy Note 8. Galaxy Note 8, they're at the bottom here, and if you might hold your phone like this and it will block the sound. I don't always block my sound, but when I do, it definitely causes an issue so that it blocks the sound sometimes. So I definitely give it to the Pixel 2 XL. Everything else, button placement, I would actually give it to the Galaxy Note 8. I just find it more natural to have the power button here and then the volume keys on the left and on the right, whereas on the Pixel, you have them on the right and everything's on the right. So sometimes I get confused. I'm so used to, I switch phones every few months usually, and they're generally sometimes set up the way Samsung has it, or at least closer to that than how Pixel has it. So this does get a little bit confusing to me, unfortunately. You can tell which one's the volume and which one's the power, but still, I kind of wish they had it set up the way that Galaxy Note 8 had it. Everything else is pretty much, you know, the same in terms of like the cameras are in the general same direction and same place on the phone. The bodies of these phones are a little bit different. So slippery wise, Galaxy Note 8 is definitely way more slippery than the Pixel 2 XL. Pixel 2 XL, the black one anyway, feels like it's not going to slip on your hand. It's almost feels like this is like stone almost, you know, like a somewhat smooth stone, but a stone that's not going to slip out of your hand. So just slipping out of your hands, if you don't use a case, definitely get the Pixel 2 XL. And then just, you know, overall look of these two phones, like I said earlier, I'd definitely give it to the Galaxy Note 8. I think it looks better, but I still like the way both of them look. I think I like this two-tone back. It does not look bad to me at all. Very little branding. You have no branding on the front, which is nice. Used to, when you buy these phones, especially Samsung phones, you'd have the Samsung logo at the top, and on the back you'd have, you know, what kind of phone it is by Samsung, like Galaxy Note 8 or Galaxy S9, which you still get, and you'd also have carrier branding on here. They don't put carrier branding on here, and the Pixel phones have never had carrier branding at all, and they have just a small G logo. So very just sleek looking phones. We're really lucky. The design for Samsung and other Android carriers has just gone up immensely over the last, you know, probably 3 or 4 years. It's just like amazing. They're the best looking phones ever, the phones we get on Android nowadays. So you really can't go wrong with either one of these phones just based off comfort and design. They're both really, really nice. You know, the Galaxy Note 8 is going to have a headphone jack, whereas the Pixel will not. They both have USB Type-C. And that's pretty much it, guys. They're very similar in a lot of ways. They have similar specs. You're going to get a little bit more RAM out of your Galaxy Note 8. So if you like to have more apps running, you know, so they don't relaunch, Galaxy Note 8 might be the best bet for you. But overall, great, fantastic phones. I really love both these devices. It's going to be tough for me. The more I use the Pixel, the more I'm starting to like it. I've always liked the Pixel phones, but it's just overall a really nice device. So if you want to pick any one of these phones up, guys, definitely do it. I don't think you'll be disappointed with either one of these. They're really both nice phones. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments down below which phone you think is the most comfortable, looks the best, and just overall is just designed better. I'll see you down the road. Peace!